Thanks so much for downloading the latest episode of The Ugly Truth today. Paul and I discuss breakups aren't that bad sometimes, weddings that are tacky, money cannot buy you taste, it cannot buy you health. We talk about this as well, and we are looking forward to the Super Bowl commercials and producer Dub's hatred for the Kansas City Chiefs. All of this, plus our ugly and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie.
Turn on your hot light.
Paula.
I should have just fucking done it. I was going to bleed anyway.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is episode 434. Oh, really quick before we start talking about the stuff, I got an email a couple days ago from the Girl Scouts telling me that Olivia is a top seller in her region.
Yes, she is. Actually, for her whole troop, she is the top seller in online sales.
Yes.
By like 10 boxes.
What's the difference between online sales and is there like, do they qualify door-to-door versus online sales in Girl Scouts?
Online sales is different than like if you're just selling directly to your family. So we submitted our order form to get our actual boxes of cookies to sell.
Yes.
So we're just waiting to get the actual cookie boxes. And then we can sell those directly for like, $5 or whatever they are. And there's no shipping involved. And then we're also going to be doing, our day in front of, Starbucks or Smart and Final or, whatever other sites that, there was a lottery system, I guess.
So will she get credit for any boxes sold in front of the grocery store?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like they kind of partner the Girl Scouts up, I think, in groups of 2.
Okay.
Then based on what's sold, they just split it.
That's great. Well, are they allowed to do door-to-door sales?
They are, but they don't recommend it because it's just not safe.
Sure.
They said if anything, like if you want to set up a stand in front of your house, then you can do that. But I don't want her to do anything like that. So
yeah. Anyway, well, I'm so excited that she's top seller on online sales. And if you want to buy Girl Scout cookies from our little Ugalita, we have a new link on our uglytruth.com website. Right on the front page, you can just click it and there it is. Or if you follow us on social media, you can see us on the Facebook page. We have a nice link pinned at the top of our Facebook page. So we've made it super easy for you to just click and buy. And so mine should be coming soon too, by the way. I've been tracking my shipping. So my little goodie box of Girl Scout cookies is en route.
And they are so delicious. I mean, seriously, I don't think there's anything better than Girl Scout cookies.
They're so good. Oh, speaking of, I don't know if it was last week or next week, Food Network is doing a Girl Scout cookie challenge.
Yeah, we saw that on TV.
So I'm kind of looking forward to, now I'm all in on it. I'm like, okay, we're all things Girl Scouts now, so let's watch it and see what happens. Because, I mean, if it's little Girl Scouts, I'm like, let's get Olivia on there immediately.
Oh, seriously.
For next year.
Well, what I like about the online shipping is because they do sell the gluten-free cookies. So every time we come out of the grocery store or wherever they're selling the Girl Scout cookies, I always ask for the gluten-free cookies. Well, they're always sold out. And so I can never have the cookies.
I've never been a fan of walking up to those tables.
Oh, don't worry. They'll walk up to you.
That's true.
Get a bunch of toothless little, 8-year-olds. Do you want to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah, it's true. And they're always so wild because they're hopped up on sugar.
It is true. Well, they did put a limit on how many girls can be at a table now because
it was becoming crazy.
Some of the businesses complained last year.
Well, girls are hard to... It's like herding kittens. It's impossible sometimes if you have too many. Have one sleepover and you'll know exactly why.
Olivia has forbidden me from buying a shirt that says "Got Milk." So,
well, Paula, it isn't really about you and your mams.
No,
so I get
was just saying it would draw a crowd.
For the wrong reasons. And what are you going to be next to some PTA mom who's going to be super bitter that you're trying to whore yourself out for cookies? So,
and when is that new, Jamie? Really?
I know.
When is that new?
I understand you, my darling sister. What I know is that people don't understand us. And so they'll be like, what are you doing? And so anyway.
That's true. It starts with the husband over there like, well, what kind of cookies do you have? And then suddenly the wife rolls up with the cart with the 2 daughters. And she's just like, we don't need new cookies right now.
Let's go. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, sorry.
Speaking of breaking up, I have this glorious news that no one will be happy about but me. Rascal Flatts is breaking up, and they're going on a final farewell tour. I could not be more thrilled that I will no longer be required to hear Rascal Flatts singing anywhere ever again on a show or, anything ever. No new songs. It's over. And I cannot tell you how happy I am.
Why do you hate them so much?
I hate him. I don't like that blonde, pudgy guy in the front.
The lead singer.
I don't like him. I don't like anything about them. I think that they play music to simply cater to a certain type of listener. I don't think they're artistic. I think they put out shit that the grocery store can play in 10 years. I hate them. There is nothing about them that I like. Nothing. My hate is real. And I know I am in the minority. I'm very aware of your affinity for Rascal Flatts.
I've always liked them.
I know that I'm one of the very few that hates them.
That's all right.
But it pleases me greatly to know there will be no more music coming out of their faces. That pleases me greatly. Now we just have to do with the what hurts the most or whatever that is.
It's the other two guys that I can't stand that are like...
Oh, so you don't like them. Okay, good.
No, it's a freaking Dan and Shay where every song they
terrible.
make, they insist upon it being a fucking first dance wedding song.
I know.
They're like the Kenny Loggins soundtrack for weddings.
Okay, first of all, Kenny Loggins is a treasure.
I'm not saying he isn't, but why does every song he makes have to be a movie soundtrack?
Because that's where that's his bread and butter.
So that's what what Dan and Shay are. Every song they make is for a first dance wedding song, either with a groom or a father or, walking down the aisle.
They know their audience. They know these young 18 to 24-year-old girls are going to be like, oh my God, it would be so perfect is if I wore my white cowboy boots and we sang it and we danced to Dan and Shay. It'd be so great. Instagram, hashtag.
And we'll have like burlap flowers wrapped up as like party, spoons and a donut wall. And, everyone's going to like sign in on a chalkboard and it's going to be so beautiful. And we'll be divorced in a year and a half.
Because it was all about the event and not the actual relationship.
Because we only knew each other 6 months, but I had everything on Pinterest and I just wanted it.
But the photos will be beautiful and my dad will get over it.
My dad won't care that he spent $1,500 on the photographer and we don't place the photos anywhere because we got divorced.
Tim Tebow got married. Speaking of weddings.
No, Tim Tebow got laid. That's what everybody wants to say.
Well, I know, but I was going to give you some details on the wedding because I thought it was typical of a virgin. So, yes, he finally did have sex. His wife is beautiful.
He didn't get down on a knee and, like, put his head on his fist, did he?
I don't know. No.
He didn't do the Tebow or whatever it was called.
No, they got married in her home country, South Africa.
They got married in South Africa?
Yeah, she's not as pretty as Charlize Theron, but she is very pretty. The reason that I'm talking about it is that she had a custom gown done by David's Bridal. And I was just like, what?
Wow.
David's Bridal? It's like, look, no offense if you had to go there, but this woman is marrying Tim Tebow. She couldn't get a custom Vera Wang or a couture of some kind somewhere? Like, really?
That doesn't terribly surprise me.
The regional food at their reception was steak, pasta, and cheeses. We're both very traditional. We wanted to look back at the wedding and see that it was intimate, elegant, and traditional.
Okay, so
because nothing says elegant like pasta.
They have no taste.
None. Floridians.
Okay,
Floridians.
so
I mean, no offense.
Was this at like some hotel banquet room where they had to go through like the typical like menu? Was it a buffet style?
It does not say where they got married, where the place was, but the ceremony and reception were at the same place. So I'm going to say yeah.
Okay.
And it says, he revealed he was most looking forward to the 3 moments in particular. The first moment, I see her in her dress, the first kiss, and our first dance as man and wife. And I'm like, Russ.
He's full of shit. The first moment, I see her in her dress. The second moment, I don't see her in her dress.
The second moment, I rip it off and go, thank God it was only David's Bridal.
The moment I see her in her face while I'm inside of her.
Or when she's on her knees for the very first time. Now she gets to do the kneel. Now she'll know what it feels like.
The moment I see her face with my dick inside of it.
That's a very precious night. Such a precious evening.
Sorry, I didn't mean to snort.
You make yourself snort. Exactly. I'm like, all right. Well, congratulations, Tim Tebow. Now you know what everybody else knows, that sex is amazing.
I hope it was. I hope it was worth all these years for the 10 seconds that you've.
Yeah, no kidding. I hope it was worth all the ridicule that you faced all these years.
I know this is probably a double standard.
What?
I get the whole virginity thing for girls. I don't understand it for guys.
Well, you know what? I'm fine with you staying a virgin until you get married, but let's not make it a public affair. Shall we just keep it quiet? I mean, if it's so sacred, why are you telling people that you're a virgin? Like, what does it matter? Well, if it's that important to you to save it, don't fucking talk about it.
Well, like
I mean, I wouldn't.
In my experience, like with celebrities, especially the ones that like, you know, make a big hoop-de-doo about it and wear the freaking purity rings and all that shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, eventually as the years pass by, I don't see those rings last too long, and nobody really talks about it. You just notice they're not wearing them anymore, but they're not married. So
right,
they're just
like, well, in good
I
conscience,
had every intention of staying a virgin until I was married, but
we all do.
But I mean, I guess I did, but
we all intend on doing the right thing when we're young and full of life, and then you get a taste of freedom and you're like, never mind, I'd rather get laid.
You know what's
this is
stupid?
Way funner.
I almost lost my virginity before I actually lost my virginity, like a year later. The only thing that stopped me, which is stupid now because it doesn't stop me now, is that I was on my period. And I'm just like, you know, that's so dumb. I'm like, if I had known then what I know now, I'm like, I should have just fucking done it. I was going to bleed anyway. So
yeah, no kidding.
What difference would it have made?
Interestingly, I think I've told you this before. When I lost my virginity, I did not bleed. I did not bleed until like 3 months later.
I did bleed. And the only reason why I know that is because my husband, my new husband at the time, insisted on looking at the sheets to see if there was blood because he wanted to make sure that I truly had been a virgin.
Honestly, Paula, I would have walked out and left and never looked back.
What was I supposed to do?
I would have been like, are you fucking kidding me? You are questioning my virginity. Get the fuck out. Goodbye. Annulment. Done and done. Oh, I'm so unforgiving. I would never have put up with that shit.
Well, you know how things were back then, so.
I understand. We were different people back then. You were very young. I
didn't know. I was just like, I guess that's normal. I mean.
Is that what we do? Is this biblical? I don't know.
I mean, for all we knew, we were, you know, just moments away from laying a freaking white sheet on me with a hole, you know, like. Fucking whatever those people are, Catholics or something, or
no, Mormons?
No, they're not Mormons. I think
extremists?
It's like freaking Orthodox Catholics that, you know, in freaking Mexico that have that special white sheet with like a freaking hole in it, and
I never heard it. I'm going to have to do my research on this.
I should like a white sheet with a hole.
You're going to find KKK pictures.
You know, I was just going to say that. I'm like, I'm going to wind
No.
up with the Ku Klux Klan, and I don't want to do that.
Don't do that.
Police will knock on my door. I'll be like, that's not what I meant. I meant like for I meant for sexual purposes. No, I didn't mean that either. I don't want to have a sex with a Ku Klan member. I just meant
I'm Mexican.
I'm a Mexican.
I promise you.
I am Mexican.
I can't be white supremacist. I am Mexican. Okay, so the Super Bowl is coming on the 2nd of Feb. This show drops at the weekend before, actually.
Oh, so it'll be a week away.
So a week away, the Super Bowl is coming, and I think the 49ers are going to cream the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think it's going to even be a contest. People think there might be some contest. I'm like, no. The Niners are so goddamn fast. They annihilated Green Bay, and they only lost to Seattle once. They're barely, I mean, my God. They're going to win this year. No doubt. And I'm not a big Niners fan. But I'm always a fan of California teams winning everything anyway. So
you know. Ryan, he's just like, he says, I'm rooting for anybody that's not a 49er. You know,
Why?
and I'm just like, because he thinks that suddenly there's all these bandwagoners that are jumping on the 49er train. And I'm like, Ryan, here's the thing.
That's how that works.
You're always rooting for the home team, But to be perfectly honest, I'm like, our home teams, with the exception of the Golden State Warriors, I'm like, they're never really good. I'm like,
well, the Giants are.
Well, I mean, the Giants, yes. He doesn't watch.
They're 3-time World Series champions.
He doesn't watch baseball, though.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is that there are fans that have been fans since they were children. Their families raised them to be fans, and that's in any sport, whether it's basketball or football or baseball. You know, there are hardcore Kings fans that go to every game, no matter what. Same with the Raiders. We are Oakland Raider fans to the end of time, and they are terrible, but that does not change the fact that we are always rooting for them to be better and to do well and win. Niners, they had some really bad seasons, and now they're coming back up into it, and it's great. And I mean, the whole point about bandwagoning is that's kind of fun to watch, because when they suck, they all go away, and the tried and true are still there to cheer on their team. I don't have a problem with bandwagoning. I think it's fine.
Yeah, so
I'm rooting for them too. So
I told him, I said, I always root for the home team. I said, whether it's the Raiders, the 49ers, the Kings, the Golden State Warriors, that's who I'm always rooting for. I said, I may not make a lot of noise about it. I said, because sometimes there's no reason to make noise. But, the 49ers, they're having a great year, and it's exciting.
So a couple weeks ago, when the Chiefs were in the running, they were making their way through. And I don't remember who they were playing, honestly. And they're in the Raiders division. They are mortal enemy. I thought the mortal enemy was Broncos, but apparently it's the Kansas City Chiefs. I was not aware. I mean, I love the Raiders, but I don't follow every goddamn thing about, the rivalries.
I
was under the impression
the Chiefs were a rivalry.
Well, I did know, because it's kind of like, and you won't know this, but like the San Francisco Giants and the Padres, the San Diego Padres, they are friendly rivalries, but the bitter rivalry is the Dodgers. And and it goes all the way back to the beginning, back when they were both on the East Coast. That I knew. The Raiders everybody is their rival, as far as I can tell. But the Broncos, to me, I thought were the rival. But the Chiefs, I think what it is no matter how good the Chiefs or the Raiders are, the game is always really good. Daryl and I got to go to a Chiefs game a few years ago at the Oakland Stadium. Got to do the tour. I caught the eye of a certain Travis Kelce.
Oh.
And Daryl to this day is jealous as hell because he just can't even with it. But I was surprised because, I'm not what those people marry and have children with. I'm just some woman on the side of, but he did a double take, and because we were right there on the sidelines watching them warm up, and I thought it was really cool to see those guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, you never see them. But he did a double take in the backfield, and Daryl's like, what the fuck is going on right now? It was really funny. Maybe that's why he hates it so much. But anyway, we were watching, and I said, well, I hope the Chiefs win. I hope they go all the way. And he's like, what the fuck did you just say? And I said, excuse me? Don't speak to me. He goes, are you crazy? I go,
I said, are you crazy? Have you lost your goddamn mind?
That's what I said. Are you fucking nuts talking to me this way? He goes, we don't want the Chiefs to win anything. And I said, okay, first of all, these aren't the Raiders they're playing. It's like Tennessee or something. I go, it's not the Raiders. And don't we want our division to have a Super Bowl win? He goes, never. I was like, okay. I said, I didn't realize that this was so important to you. And we got in a fight about it.
Wow.
And so the other day when the Chiefs were on, he's like, oh, do you want to watch a Chiefs game? I go, I would never in a million years want to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play anything in this house. He's like, are we still doing this? And I said, till the day I die, I will never watch the Kansas City Chiefs in this house.
Wow.
He's like, oh. Anyway, he was very passionate about it at the time.
Apparently so.
Maybe there was some stuff that I didn't realize was going on in that with the whole Kelce thing. But anyway, the one thing that I look forward to, especially if the game's going to be a blowout, which I think it might be, I mean, that's my hope anyway, is the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy the commercials. Now we always get a little preview of all the commercials. Like we get like a little snippets of them during the week. And then the Super Bowl is when we get all the full length Budweiser, the one that makes everyone cry or whatever. Today or the other day, Mr. Peanut posted that Mr. Peanut died at 104.
What?
And that the commercial will air during the Super Bowl. The funeral of Mr. Peanut will air during the Super Bowl. Isn't that ridiculous?
Wait, how did Mr. Peanut die?
He was 104, Paula.
He's a cartoon, Jamie.
I know, he's a brand. My guess is they're using this opportunity to rebrand their labels. They're no longer going to use the peanut. They're going to. It looks like it's going to be black with a monocle. So they're using this opportunity to eliminate the Mr. Peanut cartoon and just go to something a little more sophisticated is my guess. I'm just guessing marketing wise. I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to have fun with it. And of course everyone's like, this is really in poor taste. And I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, it's a fucking peanut. I want to see the funeral.
I think this is going to go over poorly. I mean, the only commercials that have been making me a little weepy are the E.T. and Elliot commercials.
Oh, the Comcast ones, the Xfinity.
Yeah, where he's just like, you're back. And I was like,
the first time I saw that, I did get teary-eyed.
Like, I wanted to cry. I was just like,
well, because it's our childhood.
Well, I don't know why there's just something so special about that movie. I don't know what it is.
I saw that movie 7 times in the theater.
What is it about that movie, Jamie? I mean, I feel like there's something like very... I don't know about that movie. Like, there's just something particularly special about that movie in our life.
I know.
I can't explain it.
Steven Spielberg is ridiculously good at storytelling and getting those moments, you know?
But even the Neil Diamond song, like, if I heard that, I'd probably bawl. I don't know why.
Turn on your hot light.
There's just something about that movie, that song, the whole thing. Maybe there was just like something really good going on in life or really bad going on in life. I don't really know what it was, but
you know what? That would be a really good karaoke song. That's got good range. It's got a really nice crescendo, and then you can end it, you know,
in the middle of a young boy's dream. Don't wake me up too soon.
I don't know the words.
I know something. Gonna take a ride across the moon.
You and me.
I couldn't remember how it went.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. We'd be the worst. Oh my god, that was really funny.
I was waiting for you. I'm like, maybe she knows it.
I thought you knew it because it was so special to you.
Well, God, I mean, I'm still young.
Well, what was funny is I thought, is she going to start crying or does she not know the words either?
I don't know the words.
I don't. Oh my God, that is so funny. Okay, so the other thing that's happening, Geico has brought back the woodchucks.
The woodchucks? Are they like trying to be the slow skis?
No. The woodchucks were from like 20 years ago.
Is that where she says, well,
No.
The squirrels are back again? No, that's something different.
No. I know what you're talking about. That one's funny too. But no, the original ad is when there's these 2 woodchucks at a wood mill and they're throwing logs into the water.
Okay.
And laughing about it, like 2 kids laughing about it. They're like, they're like little puppets and they're hilarious. And then this old man pulls up in his little John Deere like golf cart and he goes, "Hey, you woodchucks, quit checking my wood." And then they all look at him and then one grabs another log and flings it and then they run off laughing. And it is the dumbest, most hilarious commercial to me. So now they've updated it. They're in a wood mill and it's this super cheesy commercial. It's like, "Hi, this is Larry's Lumber. At Larry's Lumber, you can get anything you want." So they're doing this commercial and the 2 woodchucks are in the rafters and they start throwing plywood. They start throwing wood down on the guy and they're all, "Hey, it's the woodchucks! Get quick, checking our wood!" And they're all, "Ha ha ha!" And they run off. It is so dumb, but it's hilarious. And I'm super hoping there's like a new one for the Super Bowl. Like, I'm so ready for it. I'm like, please let the woodchucks come back. They're the best.
Okay, and what product is this for?
Geico commercial. It's insurance.
Okay. See, sometimes the commercial is so good, but you don't know what the product is.
I know. I love Geico's woodchucks, though. They're so funny. I was so glad they brought them back.
I guess they're overflow now. No, not like overflowing,
no,
but like they're done with flow.
No, flow
that's
is
progressive.
Not Geico.
Okay, never mind.
Yes. I have to say, the insurance industry has really upped their commercial games.
They kind of have.
State Farms are really good.
Is that Mayhem? He's so cute. Oh my God.
Isn't he the cutest? He's kind of like, he's the cute, like Sam Elliott is cute.
I'd like to get in some mayhem with him.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. He's so handsome. And I'm not into baldies, but he's
bald?
I could do that.
Mayhem?
Yeah.
I thought he had some hair.
Oh, I don't remember now. I don't know.
He's always like laying around in these awkward positions, kind of beat up. And I'm just like, you look like fun.
Oh, that guy. Oh, Mayhem. Oh, I was thinking of the old actor that does the State Farm commercials where he goes, where they show all these insane, real, true incidents.
Not that guy.
Well, I didn't know. The Mayhem guy is cute, though.
Old. No, Mayhem.
Well,
that guy's cute.
I know. Yes, he is cute. You're right. And he always has a black guy, but it's okay. He goes, hi, I'm Mayhem. Yes, you're right. He's really cute. So it'll be interesting. And then I'm so curious what Budweiser's going to do to make us cry this year. Like, what is it going to be? Is it going to be the veterans? Is it going to be immigrants? Is it going to? Oh, they did immigrants last year, so it won't be that.
Well, it's usually Clydesdale and snow, right?
But they always add some American theme to it. So I'm kind of curious, what will it be? Voting? Will it be the poor?
They'll probably have
homeless.
Greta Thunberg or whatever her name is.
Oh, it'll be the environment.
Riding
You're right.
a horse.
It will be the environment. Okay.
She's like, no longer will I travel by sailboat. I will travel by horse from now on. How dare you?
How dare you? I should be in school.
Yes, but my parents don't love me. They
want me to be a puppet.
They don't treat me for my mental illness. They just let me indulge in this.
They indulge my things.
In this one topic that if you look up Asperger's, it will say they get compulsive about particular topics.
Yeah, that it's hard because her intentions are good, but the whole thing is very hard to deal with.
They let me trail by sailboat or catamaran with no running water or toilet.
You know what? I'm double downing on the Budweiser environment thing. I definitely think, I don't know if she'll be in the commercial, but I definitely think that it will be about the environment for sure.
I hope Pepsi does something funny with not Amy Schumer or anything, but God
Polar
forbid,
bears?
I really hope that they do Amy Schumer and I forgot who it was. They're like, hey, Paul Rudd's here. Everybody likes Paul Rudd. And he's like, hi.
That's true. That's good.
But someone's got to say how dare you?
Oh my God.
If there's not a how dare you, it just won't be complete.
Right? Someone's got to do it.
Okay, I've got to ask.
What?
That Pete Davidson guy.
Yes.
Is his father friends with Lorne Michaels or something? Because he is not funny.
I know.
He looks like he's got, some kind of autoimmune disease. Mm-hmm. Or food poisoning, or I don't know what it is. And
right.
He's hardly ever on there. And his teeth are horribly yellow. And I'm just like, have you brushed this week?
Apparently he's in treatment right now for some kind of something.
I don't know. I just saw a picture of him on the beach with some girlfriend, and she had zero body fat, and she was wearing a black bikini. And I'm just like,
he's dating, from what I think he's dating Cindy Crawford's daughter now, but he goes through these totally uber hottie women. I don't know how he does it. Started with Ariana Grande. Actually, he was dating, he dated Larry David's daughter for years. They broke, and she was just gorgeous. They broke up. He immediately started dating Ariana Grande. They broke up. He started dating Kate Beckinsdale. They broke up. He started dating somebody's daughter. This is all New York, by the way. All these New Yorkers. What's her face? Andy McDowell's daughter. They broke up. And now he's dating, from what I recall, Cindy Crawford's daughter.
He must have a massive penis or something.
That's all I can think. He's super tall, which is attractive. Weren't you and I talking about, it's was he cute or was he just really tall?
Tall is attractive, assuming that you have the body filled out. I mean,
maybe he looks really good naked.
No, because they showed the J-Lo thing and they pretended he was naked and they just blurred out the midsection. And he he kind of looked, I don't know, it was looking at my son. And I was just like, that's disgusting.
Well, he's 23.
Just with tattoos. No, I think he's older than that.
No, he's a baby.
And
we talked about this once before, his age, but it is 20s for sure.
I'm just like, he looks dirty. He looks sick. And
they're making a movie. Judd Apatow just wrapped a movie on his life. Bill Burr's in it. It's coming out next year. I think.
He just turned 26 years old.
Okay, 26. Yeah,
that's old.
Well, for what? To look like that?
For a grown man, yeah, and to look like that, yeah. I mean, unless he's on coke or heroin or something.
Well, he's very, very, very mentally ill. He has been very clear about his mental health issues. He took a year off I believe he was bipolar or something.
Yeah, you know what? Join the club. I mean, come on.
No, I'm not using that as an excuse. What I'm saying is maybe he got off his meds, and so now he's self-medicating, and so now he's in treatment, trying to get everything right again. I mean, you know, and this actually leads into our next discussion before we get into our ugly and awkward moments, how money cannot buy you taste, your health, or manners. I mean, I guess it could buy your manners, but not really. And the reason I was thinking about this is that Taylor Swift is probably one of the most successful women in the world right now. Her mother has been struggling with breast cancer, and now it's metastasized to her brain.
I heard that.
And I'm like, you know, wouldn't you know, the one thing you cannot buy is health. You can't buy it. And it makes me sad that of all the things, you know, her mom, of course, is the worst. And I was just like, you know, this happened, really, like Steve Jobs could not buy himself a new life. He died. And I thought, isn't that interesting? And, you and I were very open about mental health, wellness, and trying to keep things, you know, on the up and up at all. And if you have mental health issues, by all means, please go to a doctor and get that shit worked out. Please, whatever that means to you. Britney Spears, I think her health has been so mismanaged for so long. I don't know if she will ever be right again because of the way the people have not taken care of her health. And she has all the money in the world.
Well, but that's just the thing is that you have to go to the right doctors, and you have to be, you know, partially educated on your illnesses, you know? I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, when you have something that's still considered new, you do have to educate yourself and kind of know what you're looking for. And when you look for a doctor, you need to look for a doctor that, you know, deals with what you have, and you have to know what you have.
The thing specifically with Britney Spears, the thing that makes me really sad about it is that she has no rights as an adult. She's the ward of her estate.
Yeah.
Her dad stepped down because there was some abuse allegations against her children, she has 10% custody of her own children.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But she doesn't even have the ability. I mean, she apparently went to court today of this recording, is in court trying to get some of her rights back. Right. Because she has none. And so, but I agree, even if she is incapable at this point of educating herself, why is her mother, but you know why? Because they were stage parents. They are just gleaning the money off of her instead of actually treating her like their daughter. And it's
well, that's the only way they know. They don't know how to raise children. They know how to, manage money does not cure
children. That. That's exactly it. Money will not give you the skills or the class to care for somebody properly. If you've never given the skills, you will not. It's like we used to joke about it. We'd be like, you know, you can give Britney Spears all the money in the world, but she's still a Louisiana backwoods girl. And her parents that's who they are. So it's unfortunate, but it is true.
Well, just like we talked last episode, the Tim Tebow wedding. Clearly, it didn't matter how much money and, you know, how affluent they were, or she was from, you know, South Africa and he was from wherever he was from. They had a freaking sit down dinner with, you know, the chicken, fish, or steak. And,
that's right.
You know, at some banquet wedding in a hotel. And
yes, because it's
just what they know.
Exactly. And then the other thing is Ozzy Osbourne has Parkinson's, which is not surprising. But there's nothing they can do. You know, there's no way to pay your way out of that. And it's like, isn't that interesting that, you know, people, I'm not accusing these specific incidents, or Dr. Phil put his house on the market and it was the most intensely disgusting decorated home I've ever seen in my life. It was so ugly. The man is a billionaire and he doesn't have taste. Yeah. What is up? It's insane. So I was like, isn't it interesting how you can have all the money and success in the world and yet still no taste, and you still can't buy yourself a new health. You can't buy it.
Well, you know, I always think about a long time ago, I had an OBGYN, and his wife of 20 plus years died of ovarian cancer. Oh. And I mean, talk about devastating, because
that's what he does.
And he couldn't save her, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I couldn't even imagine, like, that's your specialty and you can't save your partner.
I can't imagine having billions of dollars at my request and not being able to save a loved one's life.
Yeah,
that would be very
like your
hard
child
because,
or something like that.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't even fathom that.
No, and how helpless must you feel? It's like, no, money is no object. They're like, yes, but science is. We have no way of doing this.
Like sometimes the body's just going to do what it's going to do, and it doesn't matter.
It is. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that ESPN guy? He was 34 years old. He was a commentator for college football, and he died suddenly from pneumonia. Did you hear about that a couple months ago? Was that just like?
Yeah, I think so.
He was tweeting his symptoms, and it's like, God, it's at night. It's really hard. I have night sweats, and I can barely walk. And they're like, go back to the doctor. He's like, well, I have pneumonia, and they're like, go back to the emergency room immediately. So he went back, and they're like, yes, it's you've doubled down on this pneumonia. You need to be hospitalized. And then he died like a day later. Mm-hmm. They did his autopsy. He had lymphoma.
Wow.
Stage 4, and it had settled in his lungs.
And
he never had pneumonia.
And it never showed up or anything.
It was in his lungs. Well, they probably didn't do blood work. Then they figured the elevated white cells were the pneumonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they said, unfortunately, even if they had diagnosed it, he still would have died.
It wouldn't have mattered at that point.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm like, isn't that crazy? What a crazy twist. Thinking that he died of pneumonia and he never had it. It was something else. It was just horrifying to hear. But anyway, that's dark. But the point still stands that if you're striving for money, just remember you can't save a life with it. Not really. True. I mean, if it's not going to end. Anyway,
not sure
that was
where that's going.
I don't know. I was trying to find a nice segue into our ugly and awkward moments, and I know. Let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
No matter how much money you have, we will still be ugly and awkward.
Very awkward.
On UFC, there's this commentator / interviewer. His name is Ariel Helwani. And every time I'm like referencing him, and I don't know why. It's like a mental block. I get stuck in my mind that his name is Ariel Hemingway. I always say, I'm like Ryan. I'm like Ariel Hemingway just had this interview with Chael Sonnen, and he was talking about his predictions for blah 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 blah. And Ryan's just like, Mom, it's Ariel Helwani. He's like, I don't know who Ariel Hemingway is. So I'll look it up, and I'm like, there is no Ariel Hemingway. I'm like, who is Ariel Hemingway? He's like, I don't know.
Ariel Hemingway.
And then it'll say, did you mean Mariel Hemingway? And so I'll look it up, and Mariel Hemingway was like this actress in the 1980s. Yes. And she wasn't even that famous, but...
Oh, she was famous to a lot of boys.
Yeah, to a lot of boys. But, I mean, she really wasn't that famous. Like, it's not like she was an Academy Award-winning actress or something like that. And the thing is, so I read about her thing, and I was reading it to Ryan, and I'm like, and they're like, most of her roles where she either played bisexual or lesbian. And I'm just like, what is this? I'm like, why do I keep thinking he's her?
I don't know.
And so one of our friends, he's like, I'm so tempted to, because I posted a picture of Ariel Helwani. I almost said it again. And he says, I'm so tempted to put long flowing blonde hair on him just so it'll be Ariel Hemingway.
Oh, that's so funny.
So he did. Yeah. He photoshopped it on there.
And I said, I love all the Ariels.
Yes. But I don't know why I got like, do you ever just get a mental block on things?
Yes. Oh, please. Yes. Story of my life.
And you just insist that something is something, and you're just like,
or you just say it wrong every time. That happens to me. Daryl corrects me constantly.
But it's not that. But I'm like, I keep saying that.
Yeah, it's like you refuse to believe that it's not what your brain is telling you it is.
And I don't even know Mariel Hemingway. Like, really, I don't think I've ever seen her in anything.
Well, it flows better than Helwani. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I don't. Helwani is a bit of a.
It's Hawaiian, right? I don't know.
I think
he's an amazing journalist, though. I follow him. I love everything he does.
I think he's Indian, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I'll have to look. But anyways.
Oh, God. Well, that is awkward.
Yes.
Mine happened not a long time ago, but a couple of weeks ago, and I've been saving it for this ugly and awkward moment. So Daryl went to Tennessee for a week, and the day he left, I'm always like, I kind of decompress and go, okay, I'm on my own. I feel a little bit of peace because, there's just been a change in the house and I have some solitude. I've told you that before, that I love having a little solitude. And I have this betta fish, Marshawn. Mm-hmm. I love this fish. He is kind of an introvert, though. He's not very active. He's just not. He's a shy little guy. And so he likes to hide. And I don't really have anything in his tank that would allow him to hide the way he really wants to. But I did some research, and where the betta fish come from, there's these trees, and the leaves fall, and they kind of soothe them, and they make them kind of feel better. It's almost like a little antidepressant for the fish. So I ordered the leaves, and they say you can't put them directly in the tank. You need to rinse them, and then you need to boil them, and then rinse them again, and then you can put them in the tank because you want to get the residual of their travels off in case there's any fungus.
They're not plastic leaves, I guess.
No, these are real. They're dried from the lands of which they come.
Okay.
Which is like Thailand or something. So I did all of that, and so I would put it in. Well, I've been doing this for almost, I've had them for almost 2 years, I think. So I've been doing this periodically, and he does it. He hides under it because they're big, and they're like little hammocks, and he can hang in it. And he loves it. And he doesn't come out as much, but anyway, Daryl leaves. I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to do another leaf. So I have to boil it. So I put it on the stove, and I put it in water, and it's boiling, and I completely forgot about it. I started doing a bunch of other things, and then suddenly I'm like, what is that smell? And I'm walking through the house. It's smoky, but I can't locate the smell. And so I go outside. I go around the entire house. I look at the neighbor's backyard to see if maybe they're burning trash. I don't know.
Sage?
I'm like,
I don't know.
I'm like, what is that? And I'm walking through. I'm like, no, it's in my house. And my biggest concern is electrical fire or something that I can't see.
Well, because you had that dryer catch on fire before.
Right. And so I'm like, what is it? So I walk in, and there it is, a black ash heap in a completely ruined pot.
Oh.
And it's completely burned. I was like, I can't believe I almost burned my house down with a fucking leaf from Thailand. Really? This is how it's going to go?
Leaves.
Jesus, how do I explain that?
Like, well, I was boiling leaves for my fish tank, and
I'm sorry, what was that?
no, you see, he's a shy fish, and
he's an introvert. Don't you understand?
I like to give him a place to hide, and so every now and then I boil these Thai leaves that I get, and to wash off, any kind of fungus or.
Oh God, I know.
God, can you imagine the stories firemen must hear?
Oh, I'm sure it's just I'm sure if they ever wrote a book, I would read it because it would be insane, the things that they have come across, or the reason that things burn, or what people try to do.
God,
stupid. Oh, okay.
Or
really
the
quick
odors they must encounter. They walk up, they're like, "Oh God, this is a bad one."
Yeah, because they're the ones that have to extract those folks from the homes.
I would keep nose plugs like in my pocket or something,
Paula,
and they walk in and I'd be like, "Hi, I'm from the Oakland Fire Department."
I can't remember. One of Mackenzie's exes was a paramedic for about a minute, and he said there was a call that they would get, and he was new, so they sent him on it. A woman and a husband and a wife were married in this tiny little apartment, and every week the woman would get stuck in the bathtub because she was so obese that she couldn't get out, and her husband was so tiny he couldn't get her out. And they were older, and so they called the paramedics every week when she would take a bath, and she would get stuck and they'd have to pull her out. And he said the smell was out of this world. Like, it was revolting.
Did they
he vomited. He had to vomit.
Did she bathe first though before they got there? Or?
I don't even think it. I said maybe she has like a weird thing where she wants to have strangers see her naked, and he's like, no, she was covered. They would cover her with a sheet or whatever, and we would have to hoist her out. It would take like 6 men. It was ridiculous. I'm like, why would you continue this process? I don't understand.
God.
It was bad. But anyway, so if that's anything that what fire department people have to deal with, I don't even want to. And they're always so attractive too, on top of it,
Well, that's what happened when Olivia got burned by that hot soup. And I ran into the shower with her, and we both had all our clothes on. And then I took her clothes off because they were still like covered with like hot broth. And so she was laying on my bed, but she was naked. And so she was covered up with all the blankets. And of course, there's like 5 paramedics in my bedroom staring at her, and they're all gorgeous.
Aren't they?
Victor was in Afghanistan, so it had been months since I had seen a man, especially in my bedroom. So I was just like, I was having horrible thoughts going through my head. Well, my poor 3-year-old was laying there, covered in blisters. And I'm just like, I was like, I'm so conflicted.
I'm like, how do I do this? How do I work this situation? Yeah, it's true. Man, calling paramedics or the fire department to your house, they always see you at your worst because it's always when you haven't showered yet. You're in your grossest sweats and stuff.
Unless it's the field trip to the firehouse.
Oh,
and there's usually like 20 mom volunteers, And they're just like, wow, we had a really good turnout. We had a really good parent turnout for our firemen field trip.
Everyone's in their cutest Lululemons.
We had 17 students and 25 parent volunteers.
Yes, it's so true. That is a popular field trip. That is true.
It is.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have.
Yes, that's all I have as well. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. We will be back on Wednesday. In the meantime, please visit uglytruth.com, click on the Amazon button, do some shopping, and then also visit lipandclip.com as well and do some makeup shopping. Other than that, have a fabulous rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.